Hi everyone, it's Lonnie with Untitled Nerd Network. I want to talk about a interesting thing. Now, I promise this is not a uh, this isn't like a horror story per se. This isn't something to get attention. This is just something that I want to share with everybody. I promise you, this is 100% real. If you'll notice the picture here, over here, yeah, that is the house that I grew up in from like almost as early as I can remember, like around the age of 3 or so. My earliest memories are right before moving into this house. Um, okay, so what happened is my parents bought that property that you're looking at. That is actually an image pulled from Google Maps Street View. That is, I'd say that's about 10 years ago, actually. So, the place has another 10 years of age on it. Um, so, what happened was my parents bought the property, and I would think like 1984, 85. I was just a couple of years old at the time. Put a trailer on the property, and then just in front of the trailer, my dad built a house. That is the house. So, anyway, I was probably 4, maybe 5 years old. I remember this. I swear to you, I remember this like it was yesterday. And whenever I would go to bed at night in my bedroom, there was actually something. I don't know what it was, but it was about 3 foot tall, just tall enough to look over the edge of my bed. It would come out of the closet or come down the hallway, come into my room at night, and like peer at me over the edge of the bed. I would wake up screaming. My mom would come in there, it was like your classic closet monster story. Okay. So after a couple of weeks of this happening, my mom decided to stay up one night, and the master bedroom was on one end of the house, and there was a hallway. You could sit up in my parents' bed and look straight down the hallway. And if you're looking straight down the hallway, my bedroom was the first door on the right. My mom actually saw this thing run down the hallway at night. So she brought, my parents had some people come in and like bless the house. That didn't work. Still happening. Had all kinds of, burning sage and that kind of thing. Nothing worked. Finally, my mom like bought this golden crucifix, hung it up in the bedroom. No more issues. No more. Uh, we finally sold the property in like late 95, early 96, something like that. And I've not been back inside the house since. Well, unfortunately, my mother passed away in 2014, just before Labor Day weekend that year. And 2017, about a year ago, a little more than a year ago, I had the notion, oh, I would like to go down and see the old house. The house is about an hour south of where I live right now. A few days later, I had a dream where I was standing in the living room of this house, and my mother appears in the hallway and yells at me, you know, just yells as serious as can be. Do not come back into this house. Stay away. Do not come back. And I wake up. Nothing else for about a year and a half. Finally, about 2 weeks ago, I'm asleep in the bed, and I have another dream. This time, I dream that I wake up inside that house in my parents' room where you could look down the hallway and all that, and their bedroom door is open. Well, as I wake up and look around, I get kind of a creepy feeling, and the bedroom door slams shut. And so, being in a dream, you don't normally react the way that you would normally in real life. And so, I get up and I open the door back up, and I go and I lay back down. Well, I wake up again, and I look, and the door has been ripped off of the hinges, like hinges and all, torn off, little pieces of wood everywhere, and the door is laying over in the corner. Well, I freak out, get up, and I'm like, oh, we got to get out of here. We got to get out of here. And so about that time, items on the dresser, jewelry, pieces of clothing, pillows start flying at me. Well, I like wake up, like really wake up, and Ashley is like, "Oh, what's wrong? What's wrong? Are you having a bad dream? You're breathing heavy. You're, whimpering. You're moving around a lot." I said, "Yeah, I had a hell of a dream. I'm glad you woke me up." So that dream got me interested, and I'll go ahead and tell you, not a snowball's chance in hell I'm going back to the house. I'm not going to go back into the neighborhood. I'm not going to do anything of the sort. But I was interested, so I decided to do a little bit of research. And so I called my aunt, who is my mom's sister, and asked her, "Hey, yeah, this is what's going on. What do you think?" And she says, "Well, I heard that there was a house or a trailer or something on the property before y'all bought it that burned down." And I'm like, I pray to God that it's just like an abandoned house that was burned down. Vagrants or somebody got into it, set fire to it, whatever. So I called my dad. This is just a couple of nights ago, actually, and I say, "Hey, student curiosity, was there another house on this property?" And he says, "Yes." And I said, "Did the house burn down?" He said, "Yes." And I said, "Well, did by some chance somebody die in this house?" And he tells me that a man and his wife lived there, like back in the late 70s, very early 80s, about 5 years before we bought the property. The wife went to work that night. I guess she worked night shift at a mill. The husband laid down in bed with a cigarette in his hand. He fell asleep. The cigarette caught the bed on fire. The house burned down. They managed to pull him out, but he died while they were working on him, trying to resuscitate him. So now, and my dad was like, "Oh, we just didn't want to tell you as a child because, we didn't want you to worry." And I'm like, we were already having like closet monster issues. How could this have added to it? But now I have this for a fact. Someone died in a house fire out on the property, and I'm having all these dreams and stuff. I'm not going to go back to the house. Not a snowball's chance in hell. I'm just going to go ahead and say that. But I wanted to share the story and say, what would you do in my situation? I want to know. Leave your comments. And I promise this isn't publicity. This isn't me making something up. I promise you every bit of what I just told you is 110% true. I'm Lonnie with Untitled Nerd Network. Leave your comments below. I'm dying to hear what you have to say.